Hello, everybody, and welcome to a Theros Beyond Death draft here on the channel. Before I dive in, I do want to remind you that if you enjoyed the video, remember to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment in the comment section down below. If you would like to catch me streaming live, you can find me on twitch.tv/NicolaiBolas, and if you would like to join the community Discord server available to everybody, you can find a link to that in the description and in the pinned comment down below. Without further ado, let's dive right in. We opened a very powerful rare, Elspeth Conquers Death. I am drafting earlier Beltrandino, but that's mostly because time zones shift. So for me, it's early afternoon. But yeah, Elspeth Conquers Death is quite good. It's a removal spell that can then get back a creature, so it's naturally a 2-for-1, but it also works incredibly well with things like Flicker of Fate, Archon of not Sun's Grace, though it does work well with that. The Archon of Falling Stars, which can get back enchantments from your graveyard. It's overall just a very powerful card, and white is a pretty good color in this set, so I'm pretty happy to start my draft off with Elspeth Conquers Death. If this weren't in the pack, I think I would take Timuret. Black is the best color in Theros Beyond Death. Timuret is a great uncommon, and also plays very well against other black decks, which you do face quite a bit on MTG Arena, because the bots don't overdraft black as people would in real life. So Timuret is quite powerful and especially good on MTG Arena. I think I would actually probably main deck Cling to Dust just because you really need an answer to escape, and it really is helpful. Pious Wayfarer can be quite good. I hope it wheels. It is really scary in multiples and definitely a powerful card. Also, Mogus's Favor is quite nice. So I think in this pack, my pick order would go Elspeth, then Timuret, and then I would probably take Mogus's Favor over Hero of the Nyxborn, though that's kind of close, and then Pious Wayfarer probably wheels. But I'm happy starting off with a nice white card, and we can follow it up with another great white card, Dreadful Apathy. The best white common, works super well with what white's trying to do. It has good synergy with Flicker of Fate. You can hold control when you activate it to get 2 Dreadful Apathies essentially, or turn your Flicker of Fate into a Dreadful Apathy for 5 mana, and also just exiling the creatures relevant. It can be fetched with Heliod's Pilgrim, pretty much everything white wants to do. Other than that, Acolyte of Affliction is a very powerful card, but probably not a good enough reason to jump into black-green. Revoke Existence is pretty good, but I'm not going to take it over Dreadful Apathy ever. Lampad of Death's Vigil is sneaky good. You can get this card pretty late on Arena, I have found, but it is a very good black card, and don't sleep on it. It's a premium 2-drop. It just has so much utility in a lot of decks. It being an enchantment is good, so overall super nice. And then Traveler's Amulet's good for splashing. Omen of the Dead's quite good as well. But we're starting off with 2 powerful white cards, so I'm liking where we're at. And now, I'm really not a fan of Lagona Band Storyteller. It is quite a sweet combo with Elspeth Conquers Death, because you can use Lagona Band Storyteller to get back Elspeth Conquers Death, and then when if your Lagona Band Storyteller has died, then you can have this thing return Lagona Band Storyteller, which will then be able to get back Elspeth Conquers Death to the top of your deck. That being said, I think Final Death is enough more powerful than Lagona Band Storyteller that it's still worth taking here. Or at least it's a consideration to take here. Final Death is quite good. It takes care of every card you want to take care of. Exiling is quite relevant, so I really like this card a lot. And then the third best card in the pack is probably Return to Nature. Metamized Prophecy has not been super impressive. It's just a very slow, clunky card, and having to cast, naming the card you're going to cast actually gives your opponent a lot of counterplay in certain situations. So I think it's between the Band Storyteller and the Final Death, and I think I'm just going to take Final Death. I'm just not super high on the Storyteller. So I think Final Death, and then I'd probably take the Storyteller, and then I'd probably take Return to Nature third over one of these 2-drops. And, okay, so we're seeing some nice black cards here, which I like to see. There is a Hateful Eidolon, which works well with Mire's Grasp, and Mogus's Favor, which we don't have either of those yet. I think we're probably just going to take the Blight Breath Catoblepus. This card is quite good. You can end up in heavy black deck relatively easily, and the first copy is definitely more important than Omen of the Dead. Just a great removal spell tacked onto a creature, and it does work well with the Elspeth Conquers Death, getting all the value. Birth of Meletus is also okay, but especially if you're playing a controlling white-black deck, but I'd rather just get the Catoblepus. I think this pack I go Catoblepus, then Hateful, just because it's a very high upside pick, and then Omen of the Dead, and then Birth, and then Indomitable Will, because this card can do some work if you end up with more aggressive versions. Thirst for Meeting is also quite good, but we already have kind of black and white cards, so let's just take the Blight Breath. And now we are faced with a pack that has basically nothing for us. Underworld Dreams and Fruit of Tizarus are both quite poor. Glory Bearers can be okay in a pinch, but I think it's worth just speculating on a different color here, because none of these cards are really that good, and you're not that unhappy if you miss out on them. We did just see a decent blue card, so Naiad could be a card to consider. There's also some, like, a pretty good red card in Underworld Ragehound. There's some green. Wolf Willow Haven is okay, but I think I'd rather just take the Naiad. I think I've seen a little bit more of a reason to be blue-white or blue-black than anything else, and Naiad can be a solid card in your deck. I'm not going to miss out on Haven or Forerunner, really anything else in this pack. And a little bit rewarded here. There's an Illyrios Enraptured if we want to move towards a blue control deck potentially. But this pack does have a lot of other good things working for it. There's a Blight Breath Catoblepus. The white cards are nothing too special, nothing to write home about here. Revoke Existence is the best one. Scophos Maze Warden is not a signal on Arena, even though it probably would be in real life. It's a pretty powerful card. I think Illyrios is the best card in the pack, but Blight Breath is more likely to make my deck right now. And I think I'd rather end up in a situation with Catoblepus. One thing to note is I don't think the bots take this card very highly, so that's just something to keep in mind in terms of signaling. I would really like to play this Elspeth Conquers Death. I could play like blue-white and splash the final death. Illyrios is quite powerful. And there's also a Deny the Divine. This is a really tricky pick. I think it's between Illyrios and the Blight Breath. I think I would definitely take Illyrios over Deny the Divine and over the Revoke Existence here. I think we're going to ride the blue signal we've been seeing and just take the Illyrios here. Blight Breath does get a little bit worse in multiples because it is so expensive. And now there's a 2-drop we could take. There's also a Sentinel's Eyes, which is a pretty good performer in certain white decks. There's another Naiad, which I don't really want to take here. Cetus in Training can be okay. Wave Rider can be okay. Young Drafter of the Year, Nicolai of House Bolas. I appreciate the kind words. A literal god. Okie doke. I think the 2-drop is kind of defensible. Taking Naiad is not really, because we already have one. We already kind of have a few 3-drops. Don't really want the Wave Rider. This card is just not good. It's just very... It ends up being... Against a control deck, they'll have cards in hand, so it'll be tiny, and which is just not what you want out of your 6-mana threat. And against an aggro deck, they'll have fewer cards in hand than you, so you're probably discarding spells, and they aren't. So it just doesn't work out very well. The Sentinel's Eyes. I kind of want the Sentinel's Eyes over the Leonin. Maybe I'm just supposed to take Leonin. I think I want to take a white card to move back towards my really good first 2 picks. Over the Naiad and the Wave Rider. Those are both kind of clunky. So I think we're going to take Leonin or the Sentinel's Eyes. And I think we're just going to take Leonin to get more creatures. And now there's a Glimpse of Freedom, which is good if you end up in a deck that doesn't have any other escape. And blue-white doesn't really get access to escape if we end up in that color combo. So I think we're just going to take the Glimpse of Freedom here over Transcendent Envoy and Chain to Memory. Pious Wayfarer did come back. There's also a Mogus's Favor. We haven't seen a ton of black signals. I don't think the Catoblepus is a signal on Arena. There's a Wayfarer, which can be quite good in the right deck. Not really sure we have the right deck for it, but it's probably worth taking over one of the black cards, which just kind of puts us into an odd direction. Lampad came back. Yeah, I guess we'll take it. If we open up a really good black card, we'll probably transition. Now just an Envoy. Naiad came back. I think we'll just take the Indomitable Will, though. Works really well with Wayfarer if we end up in that direction. Okay, nice. All skill. So this card is fantastic. Definitely going to play it. And we're committed to white here. We have really good white rare, really good white rare, white removal, some cheap white cards. So pretty happy to see that. And we can play white blue or white black, but most likely white blue. It's just, I'm just gifted. It's just a real skill. You pick it up over time. So we'll take Archon. The second pick out of this pack would probably be Shoal Kraken, just because it helps you dig towards your good cards. But yeah, this card is fantastic. So I think I go this, then Shoal Kraken, and then maybe Brine Giant or Blessing. Or maybe the Amulet, just so I could splash. Wow, Reverent Hoplite is fantastic. I love this card. It's super good. I'm going to be a heavy white deck, and it's going to make a bunch of tokens, help me stabilize the board, and maybe I'll even get some go-wide synergies, like a Hero of the Pride or something like that. Like, you don't need all that much to make the tokens really good. You can sometimes just go wide with like 20 tokens. I've done that many times. After that, I'd probably take Captivating Unicorn or Triumphant Surge over like Deny the Divine. Wow, another Reverent Hoplite. This deck is going to be amazing, folks. This deck is going to be amazing. Maybe we don't even play blue. We could just play mono white, potentially, depending on how things line up. But yeah, we're just going to jam Reverent Hoplite here. We're actually going to actively look for the 3-mana 2/4 that has 2 white symbols on it now. Dawn Evangel can do good work in certain decks with like certain combos of cards. It works particularly well with, what's it called? The Big Eyes card. The one, not Sentinel's Eyes. Is it Sentinel's Eyes? What's the card called? The 1-mana enchantment that gives your thing Vigilance that I almost picked earlier. But yeah, we're definitely just jamming Reverent Hoplite. I think this card is one of the top white uncommons after Banishing Light. And yeah, there's nothing else even close. So I think I take this, and then I'd probably take the Dawn Evangel and then the Traveler's Amulet. Okay, now there's a Mire's Grasp, which is quite good. But I think we just want Flicker of Fate. Maybe Flicker of Fate will wheel, though. Mire's Grasp is nice. I like it a lot. Flicker of Fate works super well with both our Reverent Hoplites and our Elspeth Conquers Death. I think we're just going to take the Mire's Grasp, though, and hope to get one of these later, or wheel it. Now there's a Birth of Meletus. LSD Eyes. Soul Guide Lantern is actually a card I'd main deck in this format, just because there's a lot of graveyard stuff, and on Arena in particular, a lot of decks end up playing that graveyard stuff. There's also Triumphant Surge and Birth of Meletus. Birth can just really smooth your draws out, but it's not like a super high priority. So I think we're just going to take the Soul Guide Lantern, make sure we get one of those. And now a Dawn Evangel, I like it. Really not a fan of picking up an Underworld Charger because our deck doesn't really necessarily close the game that fast. And Dawn Evangel has a lot of synergies in the potential decks we could end up with. Cling to Dust is definitely main deckable. Shoal Kraken, also main deckable, but I think we're probably playing white-black at this point. Like, sure, there was a bit of a blue signal, but we have a Final Death and a Mire's Grasp, so some sweet removal. But we do also have a Soul Guide already, so we don't really need that much graveyard hate. Maybe we just take the Shoal Kraken, though. Wow, this pick is really tricky. I really like Omen of the Sun. I think Pious Wayfarer is also great, especially in multiples. I'm going to take the Omen of the Sun. I want to have more enchantments for the Archon, and I've really been impressed by this card. It also sticks in play quite nicely for my Hoplite. But yeah, I do like Pious Wayfarer a good amount. Oh man, maybe I'm just supposed to take the Pious Wayfarer. So let's move our blue cards to the sideboard. Might not even play Blight Breath Catoblepus. Yeah, but they both give white devotion. It's like, this doesn't, the tokens don't actually have devotion. So it's just, they both give white devotion. Maybe I just take the Wayfarer. Yeah, I've been having discussions with people and I'm just higher and higher on Wayfarer. So I think I'm just going to take the Wayfarer and then see what happens. And now a Traveler's Amulet could be quite good in this deck. If I end up playing another color. We'll take Deny the Divine, sure. This guy came back. Now I'm actively looking for, oh yeah, Flicker Fate Wheel, that's perfect. For the Eyes Wide Open card. Okay, so there's a Daybreak Chimera, which works really well if I had a heavy white deck. There's also Revoke Existence for more removal. But I think we're just going to take the Chimera. We're probably going to try and play like maybe even Mono White or like Mono White Splash Mire's Grasp and Final Death. Because that just sounds really good to me. So yeah, easy Daybreak Chimera over Revoke Existence here. Whoa, Farrakha Spawn is great. Really good way to use the graveyard, and it's a good card to also splash because it's not that hard on the mana. I'm regretting not picking that Eyes Wide Open when I saw it earlier. I forget what I took over it. I think I speculated on something maybe over it. But yeah, I will take the Farrakha Spawn here over the Leonin. We now have 3 pretty good white cards. Oh my gosh, and now a Banishing Light, this is great. Also fuels our devotion. Take it over Daybreak Chimera, sadly, but definitely the pick here. So it goes this, this, and then Revoke. And now, Hero of the Pride is exactly what we need. We need more 2-drops. We only have 1, 2, 2-drops right now. But this card works super well with everything we're trying to do, because it works well with tokens, and it's got white in its cost, so pretty great card. Sentinel's Eyes, there we go, we picked it up. Oh, I really wish we could get Nyxborn Courser, but Sentinel's Eyes is too important. Works super well with our double Dawn Evangel, and it's a card that targets Hero of the Pride, so we really need this card, and I'm happy to get it. There's a Flicker of Fate, which is probably the pick, to be quite honest. This card is also, Sentinel's Eyes works really well with Archon. Flicker of Fate works well with Reverend Hoplite, Elspeth Conquers Death, Dreadful Apathy, and then just random synergies. I think it's better than the Indomitable Will. We'll just pick it up. There's another Dawn Evangel, I guess. Hero of the Winds. Definitely just going to take the Omen of the Sun, though. Really a big fan of this card. There's also just a 2-drop that we might need. I do like Omen of the Sun, though. I'm not really sure we're going to play all these Dawn Evangels. There's also just a Hero of the Winds. Omen or Leonin. I think we have 1, 2, 3 2-drops. I think we just need another 2-drop. Sorry, Omen. I guess we'll just take the Siona because it's an uncommon, builds the collection. Got another Leonin. It's not the greatest 2-drop, but sometimes you just need 2-drops. Regret. Oh, baby, we got the Nyxborn Courser back. So, I forget what we took the Leonin over. We took it over a 3-drop, over an Omen of the Sun, I think. Okay, so this is our deck. I think Splashing Black is correct here. We do not need 6, 7 Swamps, though. We'll play 11-5, and then our Traveler's Amulet. We also do not need the Stole Guide Lantern now that we have 4 copies of Leonin. 4, 5, 6 2-drops is good. Don't need 3 Dawn Evangels. It is a literal god. It is. So we've got pretty good. This is definitely not going to be a 5-drop. It's like more of a 4-drop. I really like the Nyxborn Courser. So we have, this is a land, essentially. I think we'll cut one more Dawn Evangel. Now we're down to 1 of them. I think Nyxborn Courser is going to be better in more games. Okay, we need 1 more cut. We'll cut a Leonin. We have 1 of these and 1 of these for the combo. We've got the 2 Piuses, which should be quite good in this deck, because we do have a decent amount of enchantments. So maybe they are a little bit worse in this deck, because we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We only have 8 enchantments. They also fuel devotion. Maybe I'd cut one of these for a 3-1. Or 5, 6. Yeah, that seems, even though they're great in multiples, I think we're just going to cut one of them. Let's zoom in so everyone can see the cards. So we have considerations are the Pious Wayfarer and the Dawn Evangel. We're not splashing any of these other black cards, even though this card's kind of cute with all of our tokens. Pious Wayfarer, Dawn Evangel, both kind of cute. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think with 8 enchantments, 1 of them's good, but it's not. We don't have a ton of instant speed enchantments because we don't have any Omens of the Sun, which kind of is sad, but it happens. And then we only have 1 Indomitable Will, so it does get a lot worse then. So yeah, I think we'll only play 1 of them, or maybe even we could play 0. We could just play this guy over it. I actually kind of like that better. Without instant speed enchantments, the card gets a lot worse. If I had even 1 Omen of the Sun, I think I'd play it, though. Yeah, so this is going to do it for the build. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the matches. Before I get to the matches, I want to give a big shout out to all of my patrons over at patreon.com/NicolaiBolas. Thank you so much for your support, and special thanks to my patrons that support at the credits level, Eric S., Stephen W., Brent, and Mr. Martinez. Thank you for your support. I really appreciate it. And if you would like to learn more about the Patreon, you can find that information at patreon.com/NicolaiBolas. Without further ado, let's get to the matches. To round one. We're going to keep this hand. Amulet is looking okay in this hand. This guy hits harder, so we'll put him in first. Give our opponent less information about what's in our hand. Next turn, Daybreak Chimera's coming down. Coming in hot. Three colors on turn 3, no fair. We don't have any enchantments in our hand, so this card just won't really be doing much for us anyway. So we'll just play it, because then if we draw an enchantment, we can have a really explosive next turn. Also, blue, white, green doesn't really kill this for anything less than like 5 mana. Like, they can Dreadful Apathy it and then exile it, but I still have a draw step. Or they could Ichthyomorphosis it. This works out. That's a bummer. I don't think we want to trade these off. It's unfortunate that our enchantment got stopped, but I think it was worth going for. Would have made us a 2/2, killed their guy. Sure. We have a lot of power in the air, so we don't really care about any of these ground creatures. That's an aggressive attack. Muchos agresivos. If we final death this, we hit them for 4, 7, 10. And now we have 2 lethal flyers, and an Envoy, and a Leonin. Yep. That should be game. Boom. What they were going to need there was the rare that does X damage to each flyer. We are into Platinum 3. I'll see you in the next round. Round 2. We will keep this hand. It's nothing too special, but it's got 2 drops. It's got a Reverend Hoplite. We're going to try not to trade these guys off. Yeah, I realized that was probably quite annoying. It's possible that this deck could play 1 fewer land, just because we don't really need black mana that much, and we have the amulet to help fix that, so we could play like 15 lands in an amulet, because we are so heavy one color. But being able to cast your spells is important, so yeah. Opponent, opponent, opponent. Tough mulligan decision, I guess. That was a good draw. 2-drop, 3-drop, 2-drop, 5-drop. The lion. Roar. Ooh, blue-white. Okay. Okay. We're definitely not going to trade. We'll let them counter this. If they have a counterspell, they can counter this. But playing around counterspells in this set is really bad, because if they don't have a counterspell, they could just have Thirst for Meaning, Omen of the Sea, really a ton of things. And we're not trading because every card we have on the battlefield makes an extra 1/1. And we can trade after that. Especially because we have Flicker of Fate to flicker Reverend Hoplite, so we'll have like 30 tokens and just go wide and kill them. Yeah. Yep. This hand really came together, drawing 2 spells. Actually drawing 3 spells. 1, 2, 3. Oh my gosh. This is really good for us. Lead Instructor's only really playable, I feel like, if you have a Thassa. Otherwise, it's just really bad. Because Thassa is like... Oh, okay, their deck has some medium cards in it. Sure. Not going to attack here because they could have like a Stern Dismissal, and if they block, then they can hit us back. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're going to make 6 tokens. Then we can flicker it later in the game to make even more tokens. Looks like they have like a bounce spell or something. Which means we have to be careful with this Flicker of Fate. Okay. 1 less token. Feels bad, man. Yeah, we'll take 2 all day. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 tokens coming in hot. We'll just get this down before they can have counter magic. It's 1 token difference, but it puts a heck of a lot of pressure on them. And then we can even offer the trade with our Leonins, which they're not going to want to do, because if they trade off, then our 1/1s become a lot scarier. If they have Starlit Mantle, it's not great for us because they'll make this a 2-4, but getting Starlit Mantle out of their hand is still a good thing. I'm going to go no attacks because I really want to get 2 extra 1/1s. It's not worth it to trade. They can kill Reverend Hoplite. But Flicker of Fate, getting 6 more 1/1s is going to be really good. Like, imagine Raise the Alarm, but instead of making 2 1/1s, it makes 6 1/1s. I think they have Stern Dismissal, so we'll have to be careful of that. Hopefully they tap out. So, now we have options. So we could sacrifice one of our 1/1s, because this represents 2 more tokens, and then we can sacrifice this on our next turn. Yeah, they are either holding full control down. Definitely going to attack here. Nah, yeah, because now we have a 2/3 to block that thing. Oh, it's Lampad activation. Duh. Thank you, Hocus Mocus. That makes a lot of sense. I don't know why. Yeah, that's why it's important not to like play around stuff too much. We're gonna end step, flicker this, make a bunch of tokens, and then next turn we can attack with everything pretty much. We'll sack this. Got in there. Feels good. Flickering Reverend Hoplite and having them bounce it in response doesn't even do anything, so I don't really care. Playing our land is actually good because we have a 6-mana card in Spherica Spawn, so if they made us discard our land and then we drew Spherica Spawn and then we wanted to escape it at some point, we'd want that 6th land in play. Ugh. Awesome, Veil Drago. I'd rather attack all after I have more tokens. Hocus Mocus, because after I have more tokens, the attack all makes is more profitable for me. Like if they can only block 3 tokens, then I get through with way more. Okay, so 6 more tokens. Now I have 10 tokens. And they only have 3 blockers. So even if they eat 3 tokens, Okay, that's bad for me. That's a little bit of a bum air. Now I think I just attack with the Leonins. Because if I attack with everything, I have 10 tokens. They block 4 of them. They kill 4. So then they take 6, 9, 12. If they trade with these, then they take more. Huh. You're welcome, Veil Drago. So if I attack with everything, I have essentially 11 1/1s. Because this thing's going to die to pretty much everything a 1/1 dies to. So if they, like, say they trade with these two and they take 9, I have then 9 tokens remaining. And they have 2 creatures remaining. And then I attack all again. I have 5, and they've taken... I attack again. I go from with my 9. They take 7. They go to 2. And if they just block 4 1/1s, they take 6, 9, 12, 13, and they go to 5. And then I still have 6, 7 1/1s against 4 blockers. And these two guys. So then I'll still have 9 creatures against their 4. Probably works out better for me if they trade with like the Leonins, but like this is still a fine outcome for me. I essentially sacked 4 creatures to deal 13 damage to them, and I still have 9 creatures. And next time they have to trade with 2 of the Leonins. So now they'll go block, 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 block. Take 4, go to 1. Then I have 4 tokens against 3 guys. But then they have Lampad. I think I need one more spell to close this game out. If we had just attacked with the Leonins on that one turn, that might have been better. Like, I thought about it, but I figured I'd be getting a lot more damage if I attacked with my tokens. But if I'd only attacked with the Leonins, then I would have traded off for a couple of their creatures. Okay, so let's get rid of Mire's Grasp and Mire's Grasp. In case they're splashing the card that gets back auras. I don't really care if they get back any of these creatures. I can't get rid of all their creatures. Thank you, Lake Pally, for the follow. I appreciate it. I actually like getting rid of this guy because it makes the life totals way more stable, and I know a lot more information then. I know they can sacrifice stuff to gain life, but they're gonna block 2, take 5, sack this to go gain 1, go to 1. I then have 5 attackers against 2 blockers. And they'll be at 1 life. They have to sack this. Good morning, His Highness Stannis. Hey, Recon by Fire. Sure. We know they have all spells in hand because they've missed land drops. Yeah, that's a good sign for us. Hello, Ferniopo. Yeah, so essentially what's happened here is we have drawn a lot of land. And now we're just like in a stalemate. But we will start drawing our spells soon. And we don't need that much to finish them off. Hello, potato skis. Like, even things like this are just like one step closer. Like, the fact that they used 1 with the stars on my 1/1 means that they're kind of in rough shape. They played the land. Interesting. Yeah, that would have been a good turn to draw a spell. Like, we're battling back from like 4 spells down here. Thank you so much, Claudia Raria, for the follow. I appreciate it. I have not done Chaos Draft on MTGO yet. I will at some point, though. If I do lose this, it's pretty much exclusively because they drew 4 more spells than me this game. Gosh. Or not exclusively, but that's like a major component. Ba-da-ba-da. There's a spell. There is a spell. Also, we might have made a... We could have maybe made a slightly better attack with our Leonins. Come on, deck. No! This is so bad. Oh my gosh. Opponent's going to draw lands eventually, though, because they only have... Well, that's terrible for me. Gosh! Oh my gosh. Only 5 lands left. It is an intense one, Donkel. It is. Oh my gosh. Imagine if we had drawn some spells in this game sooner. Ugh. It's rough. Just needed 1 or 2 more to close them out. Sure. And now they got to filter through 3 lands, which is just like rough. Because, yeah. They were on 4 lands the whole game. Ooh. Getting aggressive. We have pretty good odds of drawing a spell this next turn, which would be really good. Like, imagine if we drew Elspeth Conquers Death. I think we just win. We kill the Shoal Kraken. Dawn Evangel, eh? I can't do that, unfortunately, because they have Hateful Eidolon, so they gain 1 life. I can next turn, though. Yeah, the Hateful Eidolon actually really is bad for me. We just need to draw like a spell for the rest of the game every turn. Or like, you know, another Reverent Hoplite would be good. I do have a second one in my deck. Honestly, I'm just hoping for Elspeth Conquers Death or my Archon of Sun's Grace or... Yeah, Archon would be great. Oh my goodness. How good would that be? Basically one of my good spells. If they attack with it... Yeah, with Vexing Goal, it leaves the door open for some nice possibilities. Also Sentinel's Eyes might be okay. I don't know. Sentinel's Eyes would probably be not great. I would like to draw a spell. Oh, Mire's Grasp. That might be lethal. They have... Ooh, wait, whoa. If creature dies of an aura I control. So I can kill Hateful Eidolon, get back a Leonin. So they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blockers. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 attackers. I think we do it. We go for Mire's Grasp here. We don't want them gaining life. Setting up. Okay. Get this guy into play. Then we have, yeah, they have 4 blockers, we have 4 attackers. But next turn, we'll have more than that. We can maybe overwhelm them. So Mire's Grasp was really good for us. Yeah, but this guy doesn't really count. Because he doesn't have lethal damage with an Indomitable Will on him. Which is kind of an important criteria in this particular situation. They should probably get rid of Reverend Hoplite or Leon, and those are their only 2 options here. Yeah, Reverend Hoplite makes sense. I have 5 attackers that if I put Indomitable Will, all of them are lethal. Oh, yes! Oh, baby. I think we still just do this and then save our Indomitable Will. Because I think 4 tokens should be enough. If they have a counterspell, I'm going to be sad. Yes! Next turn is the turn. Yeah, +2/+1 would be very different on this board. Okay. Finally. Got a couple spells in a row. Haha. Good game, opponent. I hope it doesn't mean that they have a board wipe. Boom! Got the win. Tokens going wide. Got the job done. What an intense match. Advancing through Platinum, and I'll see you in the next round, folks. Welcome to round 3, I think. Keeping this hand. I like how we won that last game without drawing any of our rares, because we have some pretty good rares in this deck, but it's good to show that you can win without them. Okay, I did hit record, thank goodness. Whew. Red, green, eh? Okay, okay, I see how it is. We have our Dawn Evangel. Okay. Next turn we'll sack our amulet. We want to get double Dawn Evangel into play, so we can double block the Incendiary Oracle. They should have attacked first, 100% there. I would like Elspeth Conquers Death, please. Your finest peach wine. Doesn't have anything to do with Elspeth Conquers Death. Just kind of felt like something fun to say. I don't even know if you can make wine out of peaches. Which is something I feel like I should know. I don't know why I feel like I should know that. So, combat tricks they could have are numerous. So let's just say they could have +2/+0 first strike. That wrecks me. +3/+2. I don't think we can block here. We just have to take 5. Especially because we have Hoplite in our deck, which would give us 3 bodies to like make a nice triple block or something. Sure. This is much better. Okay, so now we have this guy. And I think we hold Flicker of Fate. Just to make our blocks safer. Because now we can double block. We can single block Renata. We can double block Incendiary Oracle. So I can Flicker of Fate my own guy. And actually, that doesn't even do all that much. But I don't have much other use for Flicker of Fate right now. Like, I don't have a Hoplite in my hand or anything, so. That's actually an okay draw in this situation because Indomitable Will means I can get back a Leonin. We're not in good shape though. We haven't drawn any of our good cards. Or, yeah, we haven't really drawn any of our good cards. Flickering his guy so he loses the enchantment is... I mean, I trade my 2/3 for his +0/+2, which just isn't worth it. There we go. It also stops him from attacking for a couple turns. Bye, Renata. Hope you find your dad. Okay. So we'll take 4 here. We want to save one of these guys to block there. But we're putting the extra 2/3 on because then we take less damage. Also, this gives us something to get back with Elspeth Conquers Death. Get rid of their creature. So we can block here and here. Drawing a land there was suboptimal, shall we say. This is going to have 4 power, so we can make this guy 5 toughness. I feel like we run out of stuff to do with a mana before we run out of mana, so maybe we are supposed to cut a land in this deck. But basing our experience on 2 floodouts doesn't really do much for us, so it's still 17 in theory is, I think, correct for this deck. If we draw Archon of Sun's Grace, we're still in it. So they'll do 4 damage. Bummer. Oh, it's exactly lethal too. It would have been like, we could have actually like stabilized because we would have gotten a 2-drop back and then we would have gotten a 3-drop back. But yeah, it's hard to win when you draw more lands than your opponent in these situations. And we drew him in kind of a bad order too. Oh well. See you hooks in the next round. Welcome to round 4. We actually have a good hand here. Turn 3, turn 4, turn 5. Definitely looking to trade this guy off. Opponent is on a mulligan. Ooh, baby. Let's go. Double white, double white. Underworld Charge. If you attack, I'm fine with it. We're just going to play this so we don't take too much damage. We have a good hand. We can just set it up. And we can exile the Underworld Charger if we want. But I feel like they'll play something we care about more. Binding. No! Oh, the Archon would normally be a super good mill, but this exiles it. Oh. The pain. The agony. Rats. We were about to draw Archon and they stopped us. Oh well. Who needs Archon anyway? It's a sad day. Goodbye, Archon. I hardly knew ye. Sure, Lampad. Attack for 3. We have a really sick combo with Flicker Fate. It can either flicker our Elspeth Conqueror's Death or our Reverend Hoplite. So, pretty sweet. They need a land, okay. Didn't want to get that Rage-Scarred Berserker. Okay, Elspeth Conqueror's Death is going to be a bit underwhelming this game, I can already tell. I kind of want to just exile the Timuret. It is 2 white symbols. And we could Flicker Fade it. Black-green can struggle with flyers. And we have good ways to kill any reach creatures they deploy. This is why I think getting back a forest was incorrect. I think they should have got back the Rune-Scarred Berserker. Oh, they had this card. It's all making sense now. Sure. No blocks, we'll take 4. I think we're going to Final Death the Timuret. Because that way we can have our Farrakha spawn die. And we can actually have a graveyard for Elspeth Conqueror's Death. Sure. A bummer. That sucks. Okay. That was a really good draw. This card is going to be fantastic here. I want to exile the Underworld Charger. We are going to take 2 here. Oh, man. Rats. No attacks, I don't think. Unless I attack with these 2. Which does not seem profitable. Because they can hit me with Temple Thief if I attack. Have you listened to my words? I hear you say. Lampad is so irritating. Oh my gosh. I would really like to draw a land this next turn so I can get back Verica spawn. Oh, come on! Now that's just cheating. Well, that sucks. Yeah, this is a bummer. This card would normally be so good against them, but the stupid Lampad is just destroying me. We needed to get this guy into play last turn. And then this turn we could resummon Reverent Hoplite and then flicker this to exile that. Hold full control. No blocks. So now we can resolve everything. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, yeah. I honestly just want to get rid of this stupid Lampad. Yep, it's gone though. Next turn I can bring back this guy. Sure. Opponent didn't really think that through, I don't think. I'm going to sacrifice Reverent Hoplite. I could block with just one token, I think, or I could just take it. I think I'm just going to take it. They get rid of their Caryatid here. What? They get rid of their Temple Thief? That's just ludicrous. Actually, not gonna suicide those guys in. So I can block like that, attack like that. I lose one guy to deal 4 damage. That seems worth it. And I can block there, block there. This is the classic hope they don't top deck like a god moment. Okay, that's okay for me. Whew! There goes Nylea. It worked out. Aw, man, I only get 6 tokens. Feels bad. Okay, so we attack with this. Put them to 7, and then next turn we alpha. Sure. That doesn't cut it, mate. We have literally 10 creatures here, and you have 3 blockers. GG. Whew. Boom. Got the old victory. Feels good, and I'll see you in the next round. Okie doke. So I think this is a keep on the play. If we draw a land, we can play this guy into this guy. And we have Elspeth Conquers Death, Dreadful Apathy, Flicker of Fate to combo with Elspeth Conquers Death. So I'm really liking this hand. We just need one land to draw for it to be really playable. And a couple land draws down the road, we'll have good stuff to do. And it just got... So it's not a land, but it is a good spell, so... Give me a land. It was not a land. But at least it's a playable card. Okay, sure. I can never block Favorite of Iroas, because if they have an enchantment, it's just so bad for me, so we're just going to hit them. Sometimes you don't get the lands that you need. It's about 70% to draw a land. I think a little bit more if you have 17 lands, and we have a Traveler's Amulet, which kind of counts, so it's like 71% to hit your 3rd land on the play. Oh, my kingdom for a land. Pseudo-vigilance, let's go. Better than discarding to hand size. What? They're banishing lighting my Leonin? Okay, I'm chill with that. All I need is a land. Oh my gosh, just give me a land. Come on, deck, no! We'll send the spawn to the graveyard. Oh, that's a bummer. 'Tis a bummer, as they say. Oh my gosh, really? This game would have been so fine if I'd drawn a land before the last... Like, even if last turn I'd drawn a land, I would have been in fine shape. I still can't really kill any of their guys. And we'll get rid of Hoplite. No, we don't need the Chimera, I guess. The fact that we haven't lost yet is kind of insane. Well, that's a bit of a bummer. Gotta be said. Come on. What? They don't get rid of my Archon. Okay. Okay, give me a land. I mean, they almost definitely have a removal spell. I haven't played a single creature worth killing all game. And they wouldn't have Catoblepas to that if they could have done it on this one. They needed to just attack with the Catoblepas. We're going to do this. Make a bunch of tokens so we can chump block. And then next turn we can play Dawn Evangel and hopefully exile this thing. No! Why? We were so close. We had stabilized, kind of, and yeah, that was just... There was nothing we can do that game. I mean, other than deciding not to keep that hand, but that's definitely a keep, I think. But yeah, rough. Welcome to this all-important 6th round. Backs to the wall. We're keeping it. We've got 2 drops. Let's go! Charge! Normally it would be like, oh, we could play our 3-1 here, but we're going to play our 2-3 because if we draw a land, then we can play both these guys. Rewarded. Even though this guy is a bummer. If I draw a land, I can final death this, hit them for 9. Really? That is a aggressive attack, to say the least. Sure. So I can exile Warden, attack with all again. When this thing dies, it'll trade. Flicker of Fate really not cutting it here. So they take 6 here. I have my double Flicker of Fate in case they have removal or something. I don't even know. Oh my gosh, no! That's a good draw. Needed that one. Hold tight to your umbrella. Nice. I'm walking on sunshine. Let's go. Hopefully they don't have a kill spell. Boom! We got the win! Let's go. That aggro beatdown draw feels good. That's why Cyclops is just like not great. But we got the win. I'll see you in the next one. 7, here we come. It's a battle to the death. 4 and 2. Not a great hand, honestly, but we're going to keep it. That was about the worst possible draw. We already have enough lands. We just need spells now. Transcendent Envoy. Nice. A spell. Probably our worst spell, but it is still a spell nonetheless. One thing I have learned this draft is that Leonin's Wheel, which is really good to know because in the past, like, I can then just keep track of that if I need 2-drops in my deck. Because I was at a point where I was like, oh, I just need a 2-drop, so I'll have to take this over my Omen of the Sun. But in reality, it would have been much better to just take the Omen of the Sun, because Omen of the Sun's a great card, and would have worked really well in my deck. So they're going to block sack. Sure. Yeah, sure. But now I don't have an Omen of the Sun because I really needed a 2-drop, because at the time I had 2 2-drops. But now I have 4 Leonins, which is just, I'd much rather have one of those be an Omen of the Sun. But it was super late in the draft, so it was like pick 8 in pack 3, so I knew I wasn't going to see any other 2-drops, because Leonins don't really come around that late on MTGO or in paper drafts. So it's just something to keep in mind for arena players. Sure. It's gonna be alright. Hold tight to your umbrella. Girl, I'm trying to tell you. We're not going to trade these off this turn. Oh, come off of it. That's just nutty. We have to play this guy to make 2 tokens. What a shame. Also, the fact that every deck can get multiple Myers Grasps in this is kind of a rough thing. Wow. Played around that Omen of the Sun. Feels good. If I draw Elspeth Conquers Death right now, we're going to win the game. Like, I could draw it like over the next 4 turns or so. Okay, that was really bad. Aspect of Lamprey is irritating. Hello, Dustin. No, I've never been strictly MTGO. I play a lot of Arena. I was playing MTGO before Ranked Draft came out because I can't handle playing 10 matches with the same deck. But I like Arena, it's fun. We'll make this guy into a 4-2 so he doesn't trade with the 1/1s. Oh, 4-3, my bad. Yeah. There goes the land. I just kind of want to trade with Soul Reaper of Mogus. I feel like that'd be a good outcome for me. They're scrying too. Interesting. That's a really bad sign. That's a real bad sign. Yikes. Elspeth Conquers Death would still be a great draw. Oh no. Dreadful Apathy would be good. So they're black-white, so I'm going to get rid of the Myers Grasp, so if they have the card that brings back in, or they can't get it back. Oh, I think we're dead. They've got to have, like, a commanding presence or something. Dreadful Apathy. Okay. Well, that cuts out some of my outs. I have my own Dreadful Apathy I can go get. No! Oh, that's so sad. They're going to Dreadful Apathy my guy. Yup. I feel like some of these games we lost were, like, kinda unfortunate. Honestly, that aspect of Lamprey really hosed me. Yep. Having to lose 2 spells is just rough. Yikes. Well, that is going to do it for Have Fun in the Match. What do we say? Let's say we did have fun. It was a fine match. We played spells. I didn't really have fun. I just, for the sense of feedback, it was a solid match in terms of casting spells. That is going to do it for this draft video, though. If you did make it all the way till the end, remember to hit that thumbs up button, and in the comment section down below, leave a hashtag Leonin power, because we had 4 Leonins. So in the comments to let me know you made it all the way till the end of the video. And remember to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any future uploads. Leave a comment if you have any questions or feedback. And that's going to do it for this draft. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll talk to you next time.